What's going on, everybody? Cody Barton here. I want to talk to you today about the 3 biggest mistakes that I see people in their 20s making every single day that is setting themselves up for failure. Before I get into that, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe, like this video, comment your questions below. Help me out with this YouTube algorithm so I can continue bringing value to you and everyone else on the YouTube community. Alright, so let's look at mistake number 1. I think this is in the world of Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all of the social medias out there of, trying to look cool, posing the right way, making to, have those right angles. This is a world we live in where people want to look rich instead of actually be rich. And more important than rich is, being wealthy where you have true freedom, not just some cash in the bank. And so the thing is with this is you're fooling yourself. You're only playing yourself.
Don't ever play yourself. Don't ever play yourself. Don't ever play yourself.
When you're focusing on trying to look a certain way versus actually having true wealth behind what you're doing. And it's funny to me because people are buying Gucci, they're buying Louis, they're driving an expensive car, but they don't even have $100,000 net worth. I specifically made sure to wear, the Gucci hat for this video just to make a point of I'm not criticizing buying nice things. I like designer things. I like, nice clothes. I like to, live in a nice place, go on nice vacations. I'm not condemning doing, having nice things, and, I'm not saying,
you need to drive a 20-year-old car and wear the same pair of shoes and don't buy a Starbucks every day.
That's not my advice, and I think it's, honestly bad advice, because what's the point of life if you can't put yourself in a position to enjoy the things that you truly want? So that's number 1. Now let's look at number 2. So number 2 is not having a money plan or a money management system. There has to be a system behind what you're doing with your money for you to put yourself in a position to grow your net worth, to grow your, monthly income, to grow your working and your investment income. So what most people I see do is they just go off how they feel. If they feel like they had a really good month, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna go, spend money on some, fun things, which is great. And oh, I had a good month, so I can invest in some, some stocks or some real estate or, whatever type of investment. And then they, have a down month, and then now they change their whole strategy. I mean, first of all, it's super stressful thinking like that. And second of all, if you just have a consistent plan in place of how you're going to do things and you adjust it, maybe a few times a year, you're going to put yourself in a position to have like a set trajectory of where you're really going. I did a video where I cover actually down to the percentage how I personally manage my money and how getting started, if you don't have a money management system, you can go over to that video on my YouTube channel, and I show you how, specifically the 1% manage their money to grow their wealth continuously. So check that video out if you haven't already. But number 2 is not having a money plan or a money management system in place, and just going off of how you feel about your money. And guys, before I go to number 3, I don't want you to think, oh, I need to feel restricted having this money plan in place. The purpose of having a money plan is so that you have dedicated income going to dedicated things. I have an account called my fun account or my play account. And you know what I can do with my fun and play account? I blow it on whatever I want. Hence the Gucci hat. And the things that you want to do and blow money on, like you have a dedicated account to do that so you don't feel guilty, spending that money. That's the purpose behind having that. And then you have, that dedicated investment account that's, hey, this is money to be invested on a consistent, regular basis. You have your necessities. I do go over all of that in other video, but just giving you some perspective on, having a money management plan or system isn't going to restrict you. It's going to put you in a position where you have a lot more freedom than you actually do right now. So that's number 2. Now, number 3, guys, is your procrastination problems. There are too many people that I talk to in their 20s, even, you know, teenagers, 20s, even 30, 40s, you know, that want to just put it off, kick the can down the road. I can start saving later. I want to enjoy life now. What if I die tomorrow? Like, okay, yes, you could die. I could die tomorrow, right? Like that, yes, it can happen. But you shouldn't, I mean, in my opinion, I don't think you should live that way, you know, with the thought of that, because you're never setting yourself up to have a really strong financial foundation for the future. Looking at it is, you know, okay, well, you know, when I'm 30, when I'm in my 30s, I can start, you know, putting things in order and start investing then, so then I'll be in a good position. The reason that I think it's a bad idea is you look at one of the wealthiest people in the world, Warren Buffett, and he talks about compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, and that's not saying it lightly. Because here's the thing is, as you invest your money, like say you invest your money into a property, you invest it into a company, or whatever you invest your money in, if you start doing that in your 20s and you're getting a percentage interest return on your money starts growing and working for you. So you're essentially like, what it feels like at the beginning, and this is okay, and I want you to understand that this is part of the process, is at the beginning it feels like you're literally pushing a giant snowball at the bottom of a hill, and you're pushing it and you're pushing it and you're pushing it, and as you're pushing it up the hill, that's the first few years of your investing, where you don't really feel like much is happening, it's not growing by that much, and you want to give up at sometimes, and you think it's not really worth it. But as you're pushing it up the hill, the snowball is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then there's a point where you reach momentum, or you reach this state where, you know, all of these different investments, your stocks, your real estate, your cryptocurrency, whatever other your business, all these different investments that you've been investing in over a few year period of time start to compound into this big snowball, and you get it to the top of the hill, and you reach this momentum, and it starts going down the hill, and then money just starts coming in, like your investments are paying off, your cash flow is coming in from your investment properties, your appreciation on your investment properties is hitting. That's what starts to happen when you decide that today is the right time to start making a decision with your money differently, and start actually setting up yourself to have more wealth by the time you get to your 30s. And if you're in your 30s and you know you haven't done it, it's never too late to get started. You know, starting now so you can set up your 40s. If you're in your 40s, start now so you can set up your 50s and the rest of your life, guys. And the reason that I want to talk about money so much on specifically my YouTube channel is because money doesn't make you happy, but it brings options and it brings choices. The choices to live where you want to live, you know, drive what you want to drive, to be able to have to work a job or not work a job. Like for example, you know, the rental properties that I own today, you know, they pay for where I live, they pay for my car payment, they pay for, you know, they could pay for my whole lifestyle, and I could essentially at this point not work anymore. I mean, I would be extremely bored because I love and, you know, enjoy working so much, and, you know, this is my passion. So, you know, but that's what you can set yourself up if you start making these decisions now and get that snowball started, get it, you know, pushing that snowball up the hill, and eventually you're gonna, you know, wake up one day and think to yourself like, man, like I really set myself up. You know, you don't want to be the person that's kicking yourself in the butt, and maybe if that's you in this video, you're kicking yourself in the butt like, man, like I really wasted these years. There is still time. There is plenty of time for you to get started, so just make that decision now and get this ball rolling. And so if you got any value from this video, if you have questions on money or any topics on, you know, investing that you'd like to hear me talk to you about more, make sure to comment down below. I'm, you know, doing my best to make sure I could answer all of those questions for you and, you know, bring up those different topics. And as always, make sure to like, you know, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video.